Hi, my name is Stjepan, and today I'll show you how to quickly organize your project in Productive with the help from our advanced project management tools. We'll focus on setting up tasks, delegating the work, and making sure you and your team know exactly what to do next. I'll also show you how to create documents in Docs. Each task has to have a subject or the purpose of completing this task. Then add the description, which explains what needs to be done. Ideally, your teammates will know what to do next just by reading the description. You can always add attachments like videos, images, or PDFs for more context. Then choose the assignee. So this is the person who has to deliver this task. And there can be only one assignee per each task because that avoids all confusion and everyone knows what to do next. You can add a due date to the task, meaning that the person who needs to deliver this task will know exactly when it needs to be done. You can also add a start date, which will tell the person when the work starts. And when you add both, so a start date and a due date, the task has a date range, which will be used for later if you want to see it as a Gantt chart, for example. Now you are ready to start working, and as you go, your tasks will change statuses based on the phase of the work. For that, we are using workflows. By default, your task can be either open or closed, but you can always expand this by adding different phases if you want. First of all, you can track time against this task, and to do that, just navigate to the Time tab and then start the timer or add time manually. You can also set a time estimate for the task, meaning when you track time, it will be deducted from the original estimate. Then you can break larger pieces of work into smaller chunks using two methods. So either you add a to-do, and to-dos are quick single actions inside a task, or you can create a subtask. But when you create a subtask, they behave like separate tasks, meaning they have an assignee and a subject, but they're clearly connected to the main task in the hierarchy. Finally, each task can become a milestone, which signifies to your team that this is the one that will lead the project to completion. Of course, you can fine-tune your task even further. You can also add custom fields, which can be labels, say a priority or a number, or even a date. And this allows you to add your own classification that is not available by default and is specific for your agency. Now that you have created a couple of tasks, it's time to organize your project to navigate it easily. First, select a view you'd like to use, and we have all the bases covered, from the classic Kanban view to the Gantt view. Then use the Fields menu to choose which information you want to display about the task. Then filter out which tasks you want to focus on. Perhaps you don't want to see all the tasks on the project, but the most important ones. You can also save this view and create numerous others so you don't have to configure this view every single time. For example, here I'm looking only at the tasks in the Gantt view assigned to these people, and I can clearly see milestone tasks. If you want, you can add multiple task lists and organize your project around them. Or if you are dealing with a large project, you can create a task board with multiple task lists. Now, all you have to do is start working. So move tasks from one board to the other, change statuses, and track time. Moving on to collaboration. So to collaborate with your teammates, you can use comments on tasks. Here you can write comments, add attachments like images, and you can mention other teammates as well. Pay attention to the subscribers box on your right side. So your teammates listed here will be notified on every change on this task. Moving on to Docs. So sometimes you need a bit more context, or you want to write down a project specification or a team handbook in detail. For that, Docs are your best choice. So navigate to the Docs tab and just create a new document you can use in your project. You can add multiple pages, banners, images, and videos. And you can also mention other teammates and add comments to the doc as well. Finally, a doc can be exported as a PDF and sent to your clients.